You are now tuned in to Come Dance With Me, hosted by Jerome Bradford.
You are listening to Come Dance With Me, The Art of Music. I am Jerome Bradford, the wonderful host of this music show. On this show, we reminisce and dance to music. I want to take you back in time. How far back in time, you ask? Back when songs had a strong message on the struggles of the artist and what was going on around them. Those songs' messages and melodies sound just as good as they did in the 40s, 50s, 60s, even as far back as 70 years ago, and that speaks to the power of the music. Today, we're going to be looking at the genre of hip-hop. Every youth movement has its own form of music and expression that speaks to them. Hip-hop is no different. It came at a time when black youth and Latin youth were looking for something energetic and exciting and a way to channel the frustrations of poverty. Speaking of energetic, how about you go get those COVID-19 shots, folks? We want to keep you energetic and dancing with us. Now, let's get back to the music we love, hip-hop. The genre originated in the 1970s as a cultural exchange between black, Latino, and Caribbean youth. Hip-hop has four main pillars. Those pillars are DJing, rapping, breakdancing, and graffiti. Now let's listen to the song No Loss by the artist Cannon. In this song, he talks about his struggles with poverty and trying to get out of it.
Step in the chair, and I ain't even got a yard, but I'ma get it here. Watch our touchdown, pulling plans out the clutch. Everybody getting crushed, the cut down is for us now. Have to work something, cause I had nothing in my pocket. Yeah, I did all that. Big plans, partners trying to make profits. Yeah, I did all that. Work, sweating, tears breaking, even no ends. Yeah, I did all that. Had to make it happen. Putting hours in my practice, and I did all that. Yeah, I can't take no loss. Yeah, I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then I go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then I go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. Yeah, I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground, then I go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then I go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my.
Many NYC DJs like Kool Herc and Grandmaster Flash start experimenting with different techniques on the turntables. This is where scratching came from. And also toasting. Toasting was influenced by Jamaican music. In toasting in Jamaica, the people often MC the party, so it made its way to America. One thing that helped spur the rise of hip-hop, sampling techniques were coming more widely available for people. So this allowed kids to get equipment and merchandise that would let them create a whole album in their bedroom. One lost form of rapping was beatboxing. Beatboxing was pretty awesome. It was creating a beat with just your vocal cords. I can't do it, but I used to have friends that could do it, and it always was an amazing talent. Now, let's take a listen to Say How You Feel by Adler. Most people think rap is just about money, cars, or partying, but this is actually a song about a relationship. There's many great hip-hop songs about relationships. So let's give a listen to Adler.
Right now, say it how you say it. Show me how I look in your heart. Better look amazing. Better look amazing. Better look amazing right now. Say it how you feeling right now. Say it how you say it. Part of me I'm trying to live it. Part of me is tired of living. I'm just saying how I feel. Y'all be out from feelings. Big money, little money. Whatever make your day sunny. I'ma get it how I want it. Turning 50s into hundreds. Turning hundreds into G's and the M's. Who are you? Where my friends? I ain't asked for new ones. If valet parked, it is the blue one. Trying to make moves and we could do some. Expand this life and feel a newness. See, this world is all a future. Stay up on the block, they probably shoot you. Either from the cops or someone just as.
Old school hip hop was the genre's first main success. The group Sugar Hill Gang hit it big with their single Rapper's Delight. It even made it on the top 40 on billboards. They performed on American Bandstand. Dick Clark even rapped it once. The 1980s marked a pivotal time for hip-hop. You would see hip-hop get very diverse. You would see KRS-One introduce more complex lyrics, even call out the materialism and the braggadocious nature of hip-hop in some respect. He talked about hip-hop could impact or uplift people from poverty. One thing that also came out the year was the Roland TR-8 808. This is where the term 808 comes from. It was not a commercial success at all, but it did go underground and became a mainstay of underground rappers. You may remember Kanye West 808 Heartbreaks. He used this item heavily on the album. You also had Public Enemy, who would talk about black empowerment and call out the government for the terrible things they did to the African American community. Then you also had a group like NWA, who was talking about police brutality in Compton and also just about how rough the neighborhood was. The 90s was another big boom in hip-hop. You saw the commercialization of hip-hop. You saw MTV starting to cozy up to rappers, and they became the new rock stars. You had Jay-Z, Tupac, Biggie. You even had Mary J. Blige, Foxy Brown. A lot of these artists were looked at as something new and exciting, not only for black Americans that were young, but also suburban white kids. You also had alternative hip-hop that would bubble to the surface. These rappers drew from heavier influences like punk, jazz, and indie rock. Let's take a listen to the song Ocean by Vic Sage. In this, he explains the day at the beach with his girl.
Told my girl to pipe down, need it right now. Lately I've been going till the lights out. Got my face up and my eyes down. Shawty, now you know what this is like now. Now I got a big drop top and I'm rolling. And I told my girl I'ma be up till the morning. Feeling like I'm 2-3 cause you know I'm zoning. Shawty got a wave, we been chilling by the ocean. Now I got a big drop top and I'm rolling. And I told my girl I'ma be up till the morning. Feeling like I'm 2-3 cause you know I'm zoning. Shawty got a wave, we been chilling by the ocean. I told her my way, what can I say? Ooh, I got them looking at me sideways. I can't take no days off, they know I can't.
We just had something huge happen that I really want to share with you guys. Malcolm X was nominated for the Nebraska Hall of Fame, and he was accepted in on September 12th. This is just really huge. Malcolm X is a huge symbol for black empowerment and just fighting for civil rights, you know. Sometimes I feel as though he doesn't get the spotlight he deserves, especially here in Nebraska, but it's great to see that people fought for him. This is a long time coming. I want to also thank former Senator Ernie Chambers. We really appreciate you taking the charge and just all your help with that. Well, listeners, be good and let's celebrate, okay? It's a historic moment. Now, alternative hip-hop will give rise to very new, very different type of stars. You will have Outkast. You will have MF Doom, who MF Doom rapped in a mass. Most people still don't know his identity. He will release these very obscure albums. You had Kanye West, who became a mega star later, but if you take it when he was coming up, he was a very different type of rapper. He was the odd kid out, you know. He often tells this story about how Dame Dash did not believe he could be a rapper. This was a guy that dressed like he shopped at the Gap. He wasn't really a street rapper. He was more into art and poetry. And then you even have Kid Cudi, who is not really praised enough for what he did. He was one of the first rappers to talk about mental health, and he's kind of an underground hero. The next rise of hip-hop, we will see the streaming era. The streaming era was very different for hip-hop because it didn't focus on the album as a whole. It's focused on singles and streaming. So this era will see rise of artists like Cardi B, Migos, and Megan Thee Stallion. These artists were very different from other hip-hop artists, even more different than the alternative hip-hop artists. These artists were, in a sense, raised on social media, so they were very savvy in social media. These artists were interacting on TikTok with their fans on a daily basis, just a lot more open to that concept. Before the streaming era and the viral era, you didn't get a glimpse of your favorite rapper's day-to-day routine with that much freedom. It will be exciting to see where this genre goes in the future and what influences it pulls from. Once again, I want to give a shout out to my Artlist.io for helping me with the music. Well, I hope you have enjoyed Come Dance With Me, the Art of Music. We will see you next time, where we will dance and reminisce once more.
You have been listening to Come Dance With Me, hosted by Jerome Bradford. If you'd like to make suggestions, email us at ewcfacts@gmail.com. That's ewcfacts@gmail.com. This has been an EWC Communication production.